Some drivers are jerks. Welcome to my channel. I focus on tabletop role-playing games, video games, and science fiction. I was coming back from lunch. I went and had a nice burger at Five Guys. And I'm happy. I'm driving back. And I just have to talk about this one because it's just so amazing. So I'm heading south. I'm coming up onto an intersection, and this intersection has a very long light, and I'll explain why in a second. And I need to turn, I'm heading south, and I need to turn east, so I need to get in the left-hand lane, and get in the left-hand lane, heading there, and I see the turn light is green. And I do some estimation, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to make it through the light on green. So I slow down and stop. But now let's talk about this light. Why does it take so long? Well, the way the lights are cycled is on the southbound lane. I'm going to look down at my notes on this one because I had to write it out so I could explain it. The southbound lane would turn green for going south and turning left going east. And the northbound lane would be red. Then the southbound lane, the southbound turn lane would turn red. So then it's north and south are both green. Northbound and southbound are both green. Then the southbound would turn red. The northbound would stay green, but the northbound left-hand turn lane going west would turn green. So you can only do you could either go north or you could go west. Then the northbound would turn red. So you get northbound and southbound are red, and the eastbound would turn green. Not both, just the eastbound. So at that point in time, you could either go east or turn left and go north. And then the eastbound would turn red, and the westbound would turn green. So you could go west, or you could turn left and go south. And then after that, it would go back to it would cycle, go back to the southbound lane would turn green with the left-hand turn lane. So I knew that it's got to cycle through the whole thing. So I come up and I know I'm just missed the light and I stop. There's a car coming up behind me who's a bit fast, and he doesn't hit me, but he doesn't come straight behind me. He's a little bit off to the right, almost into the southbound lane. So the light turns red. I'm sitting at the light. And then suddenly, this guy who's behind me swerves into the southbound lane and then into the intersection and is trying to turn east. Well, I'm sitting here going, this is hilarious. I go, there's a lot of traffic going north, and there are big semis in this lane. There's a lot of traffic, and he knows so he's way into the middle of the intersection, and there's all this traffic, so he can't continue east anyway, but he's just stuck in the middle of the traffic. And then I go, oh, what's going to happen when the northbound lane, when the southbound lane turns red and the northbound turn lane turns green? Well, that's what happens. So here's this guy in the middle of the intersection, and now the cars have to drive around him. The cars going west have to drive around him. And you're going, oh, this is insane. And so he's stuck in the intersection, and there's just so much traffic that he can't do anything until the entire northbound lane turns red, and the eastbound lane will turn green, so that's when he can head out of there. Now you ask, well, why am I so conservative on, I could have probably got through the light and then this guy wouldn't have had to have been a jerk. Well, this light is infamous because there are cameras on all these directions. So if you run a red light, you're going to get a ticket, and it's an expensive ticket. I have heard rumors. I have not had a ticket. I've been warned. And you can see the cameras, they're plainly visible. So I'm going, oh, this guy's broken a bunch of, well, okay, they'd probably give him with at least one ticket, and I don't know if there'd be more, but he's out there and he's on camera and I'm showing that, but this guy was just a jerk. And I just have to laugh because you sit there and you go, the guy, either he didn't know the intersection, which is not an excuse for being such a jerk. Actually, when when I was in the car, I used, shall we say, an expletive that I am not going to use on my YouTube channel unless I'm really angry. But you sit there, I'm just amazed. This person he swings around someone. He didn't honk. If he honked, I would have I could understand some frustration because you could argue that I might have been able to make it. But no, he didn't honk. He just swerves around me and goes out there. So I'm sure he thinks I'm a jerk because I stopped. But I don't want to get a ticket because this light is, like I said, has a horrible reputation for getting people getting the tickets in there, which you don't want to. To me, that's an expense I don't want to incur. I mean, that's a luxury that I don't need. I mean, it doesn't get, because it's a camera, they can't give you points on so on, but it's expensive. And I don't want to pay that expense. And it's just, the guy was stupid and being a jerk. So I had to talk about this one, and I was actually debating about drawing this up, but I thought it's going to take too long to draw this up. So hopefully you understand by giving the directions of northbound and southbound. The directions aren't actually exactly right. Of course, in this area, none of the roads go exactly north and south, east or west, which is sort of strange. I grew up in Utah where northbound lanes go north. And they're almost true north, and so on, and it's there. But it was just watching this person swerving around you in the turn lane. Have you had people who are absolute jerks out there? I'd like to hear some stories about horrible drivers, because there are some that are just jerks. And I mean, he could have caused a bunch of accidents. Very inconsiderate. That to me is the thing that is there. He was very inconsiderate to those people who had to swing around him when they're making their turns, when they were in the northbound lane turning west. They had to swing around him because he's in the middle of the intersection. So give me your comments. Thank you for watching my video. I look forward to learning what you think about this video. Let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, press the thumbs up button. You can subscribe by clicking the link in the lower left. If you are interested, there are links to more content.